about how to hold your guitar in this part. Okay, so basically, you'll always want the guitar on your right leg, resting on the thigh. Is that the thigh? The thigh of your right leg, and your right arm to kind of like rest over the guitar. It depends how you're playing. You might want to like have the joint of your elbow kind of sitting on it, or you might want to kind of get over it a bit more if you want to kind of see what you're playing. Definitely don't slouch while you're playing. Like if you want to see what you're playing, don't kind of bend over. You can just tilt the guitar back. It's well, you'll screw your back up if you do kind of slouch loads. Also with electrics, well, quite a few electrics, they'll have, you might be able to see it's kind of got an indent, which isn't really for when you're sitting down, but if you're standing up and playing the guitar, it makes it a lot more comfy to kind of rest on your body. Your left hand, well, obviously it will be in different places where you're playing, but just kind of your hand just kind of flops and relaxes of where your fingers are. It kind of just goes along with where your hand is. That's about it really for holding a guitar. Acoustic's the same, apart from it's got bigger body, so your arm will come over it a bit more. But yeah, well, I've got an acoustic here to show you. Okay, so you can, as you can see, they've got a bigger body. You probably already know that. So exactly the same on your right knee, but obviously you can see my arms actually literally resting on the guitar, like kind of flops, which is better actually, because for chords, when you're playing chords, it's a lot nicer for acoustic to it makes your arms swing more. So in this case, your elbow will kind of be on the edge of the guitar, because you won't really be doing much kind of solo kind of stuff, which you really need to concentrate on looking at the fretboard. But that's it really for holding guitars. Just make sure you're comfy, really. Cool. So moving on to holding the pick, or plectrum, you might call it, pick or plectrum. Same thing, exactly the same thing. They come in all shapes, all sizes, all kind of thickness. You get heavy. This is heavy. You want heavy if you're doing more kind of solo stuff, or if you want kind of a really heavy rock sound. A really good palm muting, because it doesn't flex, so the strings are really getting the hard hit that you give them. You get medium, you can use for all sorts of stuff, and then you get light, which you can use for soloing if you want. I find it a lot nicer if you're playing like gentle chords on acoustic to use a light pick, because they flex a lot more with the strings. But basically, to hold the pick, it will obviously depend a bit how you feel comfy holding it, but I hold mine, so my finger is on one side, it's kind of bent a bit, that joint in your finger's bent a bit, and it's kind of placed, just literally just put it on top of the bent finger, and your thumb just comes down to hold it. It's kind of pointing a bit inwards, so it's kind of in line with that bit of your finger. It's pointing downwards, if you can kind of see that. The little point of it is going down in the line of your finger. Yeah, and then kind of hold it kind of loosely. Obviously it depends what you're doing. You don't want it to fall out your hand, but you don't want to hold it too heavy. It will give it a really kind of tight, like heavy, kind of not really nice sound. But also you don't want your fingers, you don't want your first finger, which you're holding your pick with, to get in the way, because whatever touches the strings affects the sound of the strings, and it will kind of make it kind of fuzzy, and it just won't sound nice. You'll get the occasional string muted. So make sure that the only thing touching your strings is your plectrum. And that's about it really for holding a pick. But yeah, just kind of try out with all the types of picks. Go out, buy a bunch of all the kind of range of picks that are in the little stack that they come in the shop, and then just try out and see what you're most comfortable with, really.